short second to rest and refit as we look to get map number 2 underway, which is going to be Haven for T1 and FaZe here. And FaZe, I mean, they look good on Icebox. I mean, they looked like good shooters, and that's exactly what they do. That's exactly where they stand. That's what that team, I feel like, is known for. They just grab the rifles and they just go to work, and that's exactly what they did against T1.
Yeah, now we're moving on to Haven, which is going to be interesting because I feel like it's a map that both teams are kind of 50-50 on overall. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get to it. But first, just kind of taking a look at, what was kind of going on here on Icebox. Again, you're going to see throughout these highlights in the second half that FaZe were just a force to be reckoned with on their attacking side. Again, just constantly keeping the tempo up, being very confident. And even in rounds like this one right there, it looked like T1 had a chance. FaZe would just keep slamming the door in their face. Obviously, this is a big round from Corey where he had that aggro lurk into A, controlled the site by himself, just pops off kills, keeps slowing T1 down, never allowed them to get in position to really get a retake off. So it's just, again, that up-tempo style that worked out so well for them. But again, now we're going to transition to Haven, where it's kind of odd because if you look at the FaZe side of things, they have just been really poor on it lately when you look at results. Other than beating some smaller name teams, it seems like every time they've gone up against like a fellow top 10 team in the region, they've lost lately. If you just look at their games, from like mid-November to the present day, they just don't really have a whole lot. I think the only win they've really had was like one over Anbox, and like the UMG closed qualifier for First Strike. That's how far back you have to go. A lot of their other wins, again, have been against like smaller name teams. And this VCT process, it hasn't gone well for them. But when you look over at the T1 side of things, they've been winning a ton lately, but it's against really small name teams. And so it's hard to know like how much that really matters going into this because, back in November, December time period when they were playing against fellow top 10 teams, Haven was actually a map that they really struggled on for a while. They were on quite a little bit of a losing streak there for a bit, kind of in that November time period. So it's hard for me to know like how truly they've actually improved Haven, considering all their results lately have been against, really small name teams. They've been dominating the map, but again, they're playing against really low level competition in comparison to what they're up against now. So I don't really know what to expect on Haven because of that. Again, I don't think it's like a particularly strong map for FaZe, but I don't know how much T1's really improved on it, considering the level of competition.
Yeah, and we're getting into this weird paradox, or we could quite possibly get in this weird paradox of the map pick paradox, where T1 pick Icebox, FaZe just beat them. FaZe pick Ascent here, and we could quite possibly see a T1 victory on this. And then we jump over to Ascent, which is really strange based off of just win percentages alone. That would be the map left up, and FaZe actually opted into banning Split, so where they just have a better win percentage. And I don't know if they know something about T1 or they're afraid of Curry on the Viper quite possibly being played on Split.
Hard to say.
It's just really weird. So when we get to map 3, again, it's another coin flip. I don't really know where we're headed, but for now, it's Haven. There's 3 spike sites. Things get maybe a little bit easier to default for T1 going across the map here, and I'm interested to see what we lock in, because it shouldn't be anything crazy, right? We're probably gonna do away with the Sages. We're not gonna get the Vipers. There's no way we get a Yoru.
Yeah, we get exactly what you'd expect out of T1. Curry going back over to the Cypher. He's pretty much played Cypher on all the maps outside of whenever he picked up Viper for Icebox. So to see him there, definitely not too strange. I didn't actually get a chance to catch FaZe's side because it kind of went kind of fast.
It was a breach for Zachary, I think, and they're without Sova.
Ooh, that's interesting, that not have a Sova on this map. So we'll have to see whenever we get loaded in on the scoreboard. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the maps where Scooter's going to pick up the breach lately. That's what he's been doing since Spider's now the primary jet. So again, T1's composition is basically exactly what I expected. I'll have to review phases once we actually get it loaded in.
Either way, we get a breach, and I know that that's been something that's kind of grown in popularity in other regions. So to see it kind of bleed over into NA is pretty cool. Okay, so they did have the Sova, but still a breach for Zachary. So double initiator comp.
Yeah.
No Sentinel for FaZe.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing, is not having a Sentinel because they want the breach instead. And everyone else is kind of playing what they normally would play. So no real shocker there.
That is... I mean, I guess we get to see how it plays out. Maybe they've gotten pretty comfortable, playing maps like Icebox, where they also...
I just feel the Cypher gets a ton of value on this map.
I agree.
And so to not have it, it will be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's a slower start, surprisingly. You know, you could keep your eye on Baby Bay trying to take garage control for almost the entirety of this attacking half. Just keep your eyes on that. Obviously, he's stunted this time by the fault line, but you can take a peek at that jet and you'll always see.
I like this from T1. They're getting deep into middle. This is going to give them such a great flanking option no matter what direction it's headed. And it looks like it is going to be headed A. But Raucus actually gets to the corner. He's tucked in. He's ready, but he gets the dink, but not the frag. And so now T1 get the pinch in on this A site from all fronts. And FaZe are trapped here.
Completely trapped, and I'll talk about kind of the teamwork that went into that I noticed as Baby Bay on the flank goes good for another, and it's still the frenzy meta. We'll see how meta it is. It's all up to Baby Bay. Try and stop the defuse from coming on through. The smokes come down, on up towards heaven. Daze is gonna find the kill. Okay, so it was a dink onto the Omen, but he had a ghost. Did he buy light armor and somebody gave him a ghost?
I guess so.
Yeah, I believe Raucus also had a ghost at the time, so he won. I mean, firm handshakes all around, helping each other out there.
Yeah, that was just a great play to get up middle like that. It's one of the things that can sometimes go unchecked by a team that's like really aggressive towards A side, like on a sewers long A split. It's obviously mid's wide open, and so T1 able to kind of get that read, get in there, get that flank, and again, you basically force FaZe to commit to A. They don't have a way to fall back. They're being pinched, so the retake is there quickly, and T1 played that out really well.
Outline to stunt the push now. Looks like T1 just got the read as to where they want to start playing on this map. Now it's a garage push. Paint shells. Push automatic away for a second. Has that paranoia queued up, and it's going to toss the smoke out over towards B. Also a trap wire there, so should anybody try and sneak up, I'll definitely get that information. It's pistols, so I don't want to count FaZe out, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. Maybe just a quick plant as Baby Bay looks to get on the site. Smoke goes down, or Cloudburst goes down, and
He did.
I don't know. Okay, that did actually make it through. I thought that was going to hit the opposite side there. So Skadoodle with an aftershock kill, looking for some more, but instead it's Spider with the frenzy to spray him down, and that's the spike delayed and stuck on this B site.
Interesting. They have a raise, though, actually making it up through C. It's going to be Corey. He does actually get the jump here onto Curry. Zachary will get him from the blind side, and so they're starting to cause a little bit of chaos here all across the map. Zachary with another, but he's so low on health now. T1 still has 2 members standing, and yeah, that's going to be the end of the shenanigans. It was interesting for a bit, but T1 able to hold on just fine, and they will go ahead and get their second round. But now here comes the buy up from FaZe, and Spider will get the operator, but it's going to be a bonus other than that with the Spectres being hauled over, and kind of curious to see what Skadoodle's going to be able to do. Yeah, they have to actually rebuy Spectres. That is always disappointing to have to do that in this round, but you know you're going against 4 rifles, so you got to buy what you can.
Stop their breach at all costs.
And Spider able to get a couple of kills with the frenzy. Obviously, Nets in the operator in this one. So this is, it bodes well for this next round, where we have seen T1 fall flat in this round specifically once FaZe is able to get those rifles in their hands. So if you're a T1 fan, hopefully this isn't the case. Unfortunately, Spider going to go wide on that first shot, back away and open up some space over towards A long, but not giving it up just yet.
No, he wants to keep that op in position, see if they fall back or something like that. Obviously, this map is really tough on defenses because it's hard to read rotations, and it's easy to get information denied to you by, you know, smokes on the long A cross or a smoke at, you know, top long C. That's why you see a lot of Omens play the C side, because you can just, you know, create presence, keep it blocked off, get orb. And then, yeah, you also just, you know, get yourself stewards control at A, and it makes it hard for defenses to know what to be doing. And now we're seeing FaZe just kind of start picking apart the map. Corey able to get the entry there onto Garage. Still decent amount of time left on the clock. They have the 5-on-4. Again, they have a lot of space being taken up, but they haven't been able to, like, breach a site just yet. So let's see how they're able to put the finishing touches onto this one. It looks like they are going to commit to A, and they have Corey locking off rotations there, picking up on Curry.
30 seconds left.
And another kill. I mean, it doesn't necessarily open up this A site, but there's not a whole lot of reinforcements if the two go down here. And one of them is going to do just that. Make it the second, and it's all down to the last reinforcement. A little engine that could here for Skadoodle. This is rough because 100 credits to his name and only a Spectre. That feels so bad to have to save that weapon.
Yeah, unless he can somehow creep up and find something. It'd have to be towards sewers, though. All the fallen weapons are going to be that direction. I don't think he can get deep enough to find that. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough situation to be in as FaZe just kind of bulldozed that round again. Being able to deny information at A, gets control of sewers. Corey being able to get a pick at garage, which keeps T1 kind of grounded. They can't really freely rotate. Then he cuts off Curry's rotation, so no flank option as well for T1. So this is a really, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like a really unforgiving map for defensive teams if you're not able to get early intel or make an aggressive push in your own right, or get like that opening pick with the operator. Just something to get you going. Obviously, you can get aggressive at middle. That's kind of a counter to teams that are putting that pressure on sewers and, you know, moving up the long C closet. But then you always got to worry about that garage access. So that's like where the key battles are always going to kind of take place.
And that's exactly where we've seen FaZe throw so much of their attention. 2 kills early in this one came from either inside garage or just on the outside. Now the knives popped. Aggressive stance once more. Not a whole lot to write home about here for this T1 team when it comes to the arsenal. The classic in the hands here of Spider as he escapes the drone. Able to push on up, but he gets sprayed down. And I mean, if it's
part
if
of
it's
me
a
was
butt for
really
Candy
hoping
and
he was just going to keep walking straight to the Sova. That would have been prime.
I thought that was the play.
Yeah.
But that's what he was looking to do. Sneak past those guys because he didn't necessarily have to shoot, but he did anyways. And unfortunately meets his doom.
But he was feeling real cool when the drone flew by, and then, yeah, not much he could do, to be fair. Just a classic, but okay. Automatic, it's got a shorty. They're coming towards C. You feeling kind of spicy there, Automatic? What you gonna do, bud? I want to see it.
He's gotta be good for one here. He's completely looking the other direction. He's gonna dodge out on the fault line as well. Nobody spots him, but it's the long-range battle as they get on the site. Corey to find the first and through the smoke.
Oh,
Marv is going to grab another T1 and maybe exits. You kind of just have to run at this FaZe squad to make sure you're getting those loss bonuses here at the end and trying to do as much damage as you can. As Baby Bay looking to get aggressive. Ooh,
flash and dash.
But in the back, FaZe is going to find the kill. And it's not flawless, but it's a second round won by FaZe. And coming into this, it said T1, they win the pistol, they win the next one, but they start to flounder when it comes to rifles in the hands of FaZe, and that's exactly what's happening. Now we get to see them with a complete full buy across the board,
right?
Just, you know, pending what Skadoodle picks up there. There's a Phantom in his hands, but
this is where Spider can maybe start having some impact. You know, defensively with the operator, he never really got going on Icebox, so this is where he really needs to kind of flex his muscles, I guess you could say, a little bit here. Try to disrupt FaZe a little bit. Again, try to slow down that screamer of an aggressive playstyle they like to throw out. As we're seeing FaZe waste no time once again getting into sewers. They're forcing the Shrouded Step out of Automatic to get the hell out of there. And they also pick up on Scott, who was trying to play aggressive at A with Daze. They break that apart, and they are just getting so many frags. Even Spider's been pushed off without being able to get a pick with the op. At least Curry's able to respond a bit, but still A gonna be taken.
And again, it's just a T1 team that's getting outgunned here. Finally, Spider gets on the board and is able to use the knives now. In the 3v3, Automatic gonna find the kill onto Zachary. Spider goes good for another, has the knives in reserve, knows where Baby Bay is at, playing right underneath Heaven. It's a 1v2. Shrouded Step to get away. Baby Bay has to find the spike and get it down. Has a lot of time to do it and could look to rotate out, but both avenues are going to be covered here as he backs away.
Oh,
and
the
towards
timing.
He doesn't spot Automatic. This could be huge. And Baby, okay, what if Baby Bay sneaks into sewers instead of going out?
I don't see it.
Yeah, not going to be the case. Automatic finds the kill, stabs Baby Bay in the back. T1 get back on the board. And you said it. This is a round that Spider will find impact, and he did just that.
Yeah, also just a really good neural theft there from Curry. Kind of really helped T1 out to make sure that they were in the right place at the right time. Obviously, FaZe getting some good initial exchanges there. I think they were up like 4-on-3 at one point in the round, but Spider able to make a good rotation with the op, get a couple of big kills. Again, neural theft was a huge factor. And so, finally, T1 able to get a buy round in play. We'll take the lead right back from FaZe. We're going to try to, once again, go for a play here towards A side, and FaZe are looking to challenge.
And this buy with the rifle and the operator that were still in the hands of T1, it's incredibly hindered once more. It was that Bulldog that just picked up a kill onto Corey, so not too bad, but a couple of Spectres for a few of these members as well as that drone. And a spot out one. I don't know if it saw Baby Bay, but at the very least, they're assuming some aggression over towards A short. Flash comes out, it's going to miss, and through the wall, Spider hits the shot, but it's not enough damage. Zachary will live to fight for another, minute and 7 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of FaZe's favorite things, I feel like, is to put the A pressure on, but then have Corey be that solo guy towards Garage. And so you're kind of doing like split pressure across the map. You're making it hard for the defense to know like what you're actually committing to while you have your Omen kind of lurking up that long C position. But unfortunately for them, they got caught. A great kill from Skadoodle on to Corey gives T1 the man advantage here. They haven't really lost any health in the process. Zachary looking to perhaps ult onto the A site with the Rolling Thunder here soon. They're going to try to still make this work 4-on-5, but again, they're breach on very low health, and he might get caught. Oh, Spider misses again.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, that's a scary spot to be as Baby Bay dashes on just before the Rolling Thunder hits. Dave's able to find a kill and Spider to find another. Fortunately, you're not too affected when you're using that weapon. It only takes one shot with the classic. Spider finds another kill and a third on the way out. He rights his wrongs. He whiffed a few times, but he comes back fierce.
Yeah, I mean, that's a couple of times now that we've seen Spider miss his initial shots, but then recover. Like, it just has that short-term memory loss that you need to have as an opper. Yeah, you might whiff a couple here and there, but when it mattered most, he connected the dots perfectly for 3 big kills. Also, a huge tip of the hat to Daze. Had a quiet game on Icebox. He's doing pretty well this game. Got a really key kill before the Rolling Thunder struck him to give his team that even further edge on the round.
Beautiful flash play there. It was a trade of the flashpoint for the recon bolt, and Baby Bay gonna be the benefactor of a kill. So T1 on the back foot. It's a very hindered economy here, though. Marv, you see, has the Stinger in hand, so it's not great.
Right.
They might be able to find themselves an upgrade or a few if they take a couple more kills onto this A side as Automatic goes up top. Here comes a showstopper. He's able to sneak away. More flashes to follow. A kill to come through, but Marv with the Stinger, able to trade it back. Takes down his counterpart, and there's the showstopper getting some value. Now, Operator up in heaven. Spider has been pretty good. Good for 3 in the last couple of rounds, I believe. Is just waiting to see the head, but Marv, he's privy to this. He's going to crouch, walk away. He's a nice little duck walk out of there.
Spider trying to give him a buzz cut, and he was escaping from the chair. No, sir. Get those clippers away from me. Brilliant attack here from FaZe. Like you said, limited firepower as well, but just able to get the job done through brute force there. Just able to get the kicks they needed. Limiting Automatic to 1 frag there inside the corner towards Sewer's position. Obviously big, and didn't really let anyone kind of pop off, and, didn't give Spider a look. So again, FaZe keeping up that up-tempo, kind of A-dominant play style. This time, they strike gold. They're able to trade more efficiently. They're able to get their openings. Curry able to catch Raucus here, so not going to allow him to save that weapon over, and he'll keep the Phantom going. And the problem is this is like the second time now that T1's going to get reset in this half, or I guess it's like technically the first time. And that is going to really put them in kind of a tough spot long-term economics. Like, there's still a bit of full buy here, but it could get real rough this next round if they're not able to get victory or if they're not able to save over weapons. Meanwhile, there's a lot of reserve cash still available for FaZe.
FaZe sitting pretty, and I mean, it gets even better because Baby Bay is just gonna hang on to the classic. Okay, there it is. Actually, I was thinking secondary, but Stinger comes through as the knives, the Blade Storm available, and see, we could go back and forth once more. Gonna go 4-4 as Baby Bay goes up top. They spot out Spider, but he's able to dash to safety as Taste raids a tag onto one, gets tagged himself for it. And Marv, very aggressive up towards C, forced to back away there because of the cam. So a nice cam coming out from T1, keeps the C site nice and clear. And Automatic was here just in case.
Yep. So this time we see, FaZe trying to change up the attack a bit. They're not going heavy-handed A right off the bat. They put some presence there, but they don't really commit to it too much. Enough to keep the A defense in place, but not enough to buy a rotation. Now they're looking to maybe pounce onto B, perhaps, or maybe get some garage control, or maybe both at the same time. Certainly possible. We always know that Corey likes to challenge his garage position, so I wouldn't be surprised. But Automatic is holding the angle here, just waiting, and he might even catch a bit of a timing, depending on when he peaks here. This could get interesting.
Oh, a huge blind, but Corey still finds a kill and Baby Bay to get one as well. I thought that was it. I thought that was the moment that T1 needed. But unfortunately, they trade 2 for 1. And FaZe are now a player ahead as they swing back over towards A.
Yeah, big ult here to get Heaven control from Marv. Spike trying to come up long. Spider is going to be here with the operator trying to watch for a bit of a cross, but they don't really have to cross him. They can just kind of play back and get the Spike plant with Marv having Heaven control, and they should still be fine. And they have mana advantage to hold off this retake.
And this is tough to have to retake Heaven here and low on HP as Marv looks to spray down Dazed. Kill's going to be traded back and forth, but it's still FaZe with the man advantage and a shock dart. Go wide. Now looking for some heroics here is Dazed with an operator in hand. Very slowly creeping on up, but there's so many angles to check. It's denied for Baby Bay here. Able to find that first kill. Now Dazed with 50 HP needs to just skirt away, but Corey going to be here to shut him down. No, Dazed actually finds a kill. 11 HP and could quite possibly save the operator. No, it's the right click from the knives from Baby Bay to deny that operator save. And 4-4 we go back to our back and forth ways.
Indeed we do. A couple in a row there for FaZe. Money now low for T1 on some of their players. They have money on Automatic and Spider. Day's able to grab the Vandal as well. It's going to be Bucky for Curry. I'm not sure what Scooter's going to have to work with here. Looks like he's just bought a Sheriff. So definitely going to be limited. And even with max round loss bonus next round, if they lose here, they would still be struggling to get a good buy going. So their economy is in absolute tatters. If they keep dropping rounds, FaZe is going to put up a super strong attacking half. They're in a bind. And not the map.
I was actually just about to head that direction, but you shut me down just like Spider shut down that play on
Big
Corey.
kill to get.
Yeah, a huge one at that. So much mid presence from Corey in this one, and able to find a couple of kills through Garage just multiple times this game. And Rock is able to sneak away. Now, Rolling Thunder comes through to try and stop anything, but there's nothing to be found.
Yeah, they were doing that because they have Curry also pushing through long C. So that was kind of calculated to slow down an A attack and kind of get Curry in position over here in this corner. So calculated Rolling Thunder didn't quite get everything they wanted, but they still have a chance here. Great positioning from Curry to get the kill. Maybe he has a chance to upgrade weapon. C vulnerable because of Curry's deep positioning, but they have it covered by Automatic playing back calls, but now he's been caught. And now all of a sudden T1 are in a little bit of trouble. Great pickup though from Curry onto Zachary and able to upgrade to the Phantom. Spike gets planted, or perhaps, but they're kind of spread thin. And obviously way down in numbers. This is going to be really tough for FaZe to hold on.
Flashpoint through Garage. Rock is going to give up his position, but in favor of a kill. It was a 3K for the Sova, but now the Blades come out, and Spider looking to throw everything here at this round to try and make sure they can clutch. He has the angle on the way out over towards long. There's the dash, there's the peek, but now it's a 1v1, and Marv, he's sitting pretty healthy. Tosses out the smoke. Gonna fake the shrouded step, and Spider gets it halfway, but Marv has the shots on target. FaZe to 5.
Big clutch from Marv, the fake shrouded step. Spider had no idea where he might be coming from. What a play. I mean, I thought Curry was doing so well throughout this round to cause problems and hold on the long C control to help set up the retake. Spider obviously had a great little op shot there. They were always staying a man ahead throughout that process, but then Marv just able to come up huge in the clutch. Brilliant stuff for FaZe. That jumps them up to 5-4, and it finally forces that pretty much full save out of T1. They have some shares in a Bucky. That's going to be it, though. So superior firepower for sure for FaZe. Spider trying to play aggro with the shotgun is going to get pushed off and eats a good bit, but also a lot of damage given over to Baby Bay, down to 40 HP.
Yeah. And Dazed was there to back him up. Or Dazed was there to back him up for T1. With the Sheriff in hand. Baby Bay maybe not feeling too confident here in this one. Forced to use that dash to get out of dodge. And like you said, 40 HP. Now, Marv peeking it to an Automatic with the quick trigger. Finds that kill and a nice little upgrade there. Should be a weapon in the hands. No, a little too far. Unfortunately, Curry wasn't able to get to it. Now, 3 members They
Curry's still
understand
trying.
what this means.
Curry's still trying to get over there. Smoke was up from automatic. It will cover him to get the Phantom, and he's able to get away. So that's big. T1 get man advantage, and they acquire another weapon. Maybe Bay with the low HP. Bogdan's Law to get the operator in his hands. It comes over from CS if you're not familiar. Might as well bring that meme over. Give the operator to the low HP player.
30 seconds left.
As we're going to try to work their way into B site here. They still have presence, though, outside A and long C. So I'm not really sure what their end game is here. Looks like they're trying to pivot now through garage to C side. But time is low.
They're running out of time. And again, Curry in this corner has the rifle. That's the spike down. Another kill to follow. Beautiful flashes coming out there, I believe, from Skadoodle from downtown, and Ruckus gonna do his darndest to hurt the economy, but this was a thrifty round. Yeah, running out of time. All members fall. We're tied up once more, and T1 find a way to claw back in that round.
Yeah, that was really well done. Just kind of doing that little double stack push down long C, getting the pit, getting the Phantom into Curry's hands, setting him up for this play here, getting into that corner when time was getting low and FaZe had to commit. Curry was there with open arms, ready to give them the full-on welcome wagon in the worst kind of way for FaZe. As it is going to be a tight score now, 5 apiece. T1 doing just enough to hang around in this half, and honestly, that's good enough for Defense Haven.
Yeah, we're back and forth again. This is exactly kind of what we saw, although it was 6 straight for 6 straight in the first half on Icebox.
Right.
I'm not too sure what we're going to be in for once we see this T1 attacking map. It is a map where they can be a bit more defaulted, but
right. Yeah,
it does feel like they're still losing a lot of the fights.
Yeah, they're definitely a team that has a good default on this map. I mean, kind of what you'd expect for Haven and what you'd expect for T1 as a team, but not sure how it'll play out as we still have a couple rounds left to go in this half. It looks like B is being challenged here by FaZe. Baby Bay able to get towards the backside of the site already, trying to look for any type of rotation here through the link. Rockus here to cut off the A. Oh, the timing of this.
Spike planted.
Oh no, Daze gets in window, but okay, Corey did pick up on it. That I thought maybe Daze might sneak in there, but big catch for FaZe.
A huge catch. That is one of the best retake options to try and get through mid. And Baby Base swings and finds the grape of automatic. Curry's able to trade it back, but T1 on the back foot again. Corey looking to get out of dodge, create some space from where this spike is planted. Spider goes up top, finds a kill with the operator, but Marv is still here fighting right out in front now. Raucus has to make his way on in. They have no clue where he's at. The defuse is coming through. Raucus stops it. It's halfway. No, he finds the kill. Spider goes wide on the wall bang. What a round from FaZe. What a round from Raucus.
Yeah, that was scary too, because I thought they were actually kind of throwing it away. I thought that they took some challenges they didn't need to take early on that post plant hold that middle. But luckily, Raucus was able to kind of, I think he was actually going to set up for the long con play around B-Link, but realized he couldn't after his teammates died. And so they thought that maybe he had already committed all the way. So they were concerned about that. So he's able to kind of find a great timing and peek from window and stop the defuse and then roll out a victory. So that's going to give FaZe the slight lead going to the final round of the half. Still a chance for T1 to keep us all even as we transition sides, but FaZe could build up the slightly bigger lead as they're looking to pick up the pace on the C side this time around. They already have garage control with Corey, and now the rest coming up long. It's only Curry. He's got really no rotation in place either. The drone is coming out through A, though, and now they know what they're up against.
He's just trying to stay out of dodge here. Jump up, Baby Bay into the cloud burst, able to find the first kill. C-Site now opened up, another kill to follow, automatic to fall, and FaZe looking to grab the better half here. 7-5 in their sights as Skadoodle creeps on through. The spike goes down, and it's 4 ultimates available. The knives already popped in the Blade Storm. Rolling Thunder available here as that spike was planted, and not a whole lot of options for T1 other than to just try and send it onto the site.
Yeah, this is not looking good. They got caught on a timing. They were trying to drone out A so they could rotate later, but the attack came too fast. Now they're in a lot of trouble as Marv's going to start cleaning house. Takes them straight to the cleaners for the hat trick. That's going to be a 7-5 lead for FaZe. And we'll be right back after a short break during inclusion of Haven, so don't go anywhere.
We find ourselves a 7-5 going into the last half of Haven.
Yes,
We're
sir.
able to battle it out to grab a slight lead. And I mean, if you're looking at the two teams in this matchup, Dust, that bodes very well for these guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I think T1 has something in store for us on the attacking side. And I think that's the favorite side of this map for a lot of teams. I think T1 is a style of team that can really work a nice attack on Haven. So I'm certainly not counting them out yet is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, they're a couple of rounds behind. Yeah, FaZe seem to be in better form individually, but I feel like this is the perfect map for T1 to impose their style and have a chance to come back. But again, FaZe have been playing really well. I would not be surprised to see them 2 other series at this point.
You see Marv fishing for that cam. Unfortunately, not able to find it over towards that A lobby areas. Mid control, the name of the game here. Aftershock comes through.
Did that just
shells were used as well?
This Aftershock killed the drone. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to have the paint shells take the drone down, let alone the very slow charging Aftershock.
You will not see an Aftershock kill a drone too often, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of wild. So if you had that on your bingo board, go ahead and exit off. We did have a turret kill last series, so I mean, I feel like we have a good little bingo Valorant going on, as we are going to see T1 now look to collapse on this A site, though there are several players in position to defend against it.
Everybody just about rotated over in a beautiful paranoia for Marv to kick things off, and the kills, it's all blue in the feed. They're trying to battle back, but Corey says no way, Jose. Marv to close it out, and FaZe grow their lead.
There's nothing worse than just being stunned and just knowing the end is coming, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. It's just stuck there. That was a great defense from FaZe. Obviously a great paranoia from Marv to kind of kick it off, and then the rest just able to get the read, get where they needed to be, and frag out. Now they're up 8-5. They're able to get onto the Spectres. T1 obviously looking to be conservative with their spending. They're not going to really invest anything into this, so it should very well be a 9th round for FaZe. Waiting for the full buy from T1 in the next round. Should being the very key word.
Standing ahead.
High percent.
Yeah, it's so hard to count any of these teams out these days. They're able to pull off the craziest things with the classics, or even when you do, force up because there were some kills in that round. If you're able to grab yourself a ghost or a shorty, do something crazy. Curry might be able to do something crazy. Marv sniffs it out this time. Last time we went fishing for the cam. This time we went fishing straight for the source there and finds Curry.
Yep, now the rest of T1 trying to get in through garage, but Corey, of course, is going to spot it here. Going to get dashed on, but still finds the kill. Greets him with the pistol.
Another one.
That is unbelievable from Corey. Again, he's known to be kind of the star of this team, one of the heavy fraggers on their roster, and he comes up big. That round defending window position. Now FaZe can just collapse on the rest. Easy pickings for Zachary after the stun. That is going to be that 9th round from FaZe we were anticipating. But here comes the first real test of FaZe's defense. A fully bought out T1 bonus for FaZe with the Spectres.
And about that play in garage, Corey picks up 2 kills. That's already, it feels bad, man. But once T1 was able to find the kill onto Corey, they hop up to try and upgrade, and it's just a ghost there. It's not a Spectre, it's not an SMG or a Bucky. It's just another pistol. They eventually ended up dying for it, but
yeah,
that just hurts that there's no way to battle back in that situation.
Right, but here they go. Fully equipped. They're going to be able to get some early mid control. They're putting their presence over towards A side as well. They got the cam up. They smoked the cross. They're making FaZe second guess whether or not they've gone sewers or not. So this is kind of your bread and butter default, right? Putting some presence at A side, denying information towards sewers, getting mid, denying info at long C. Like it's kind of exactly what you want to have a default. And they're able to get a tag off on Corey in window with the drone. So they're gonna be able to get garage control off the back of that.
And interesting enough, I think Corey might be hanging out to try and get an operator here in the next few rounds, because still only on the ghost.
Yeah,
possible. The rest of the team has some Spectres around it. This is that bonus round for FaZe. T1 definitely have the arsenal advantage, not the HP advantage, as they push up a shock dart and chip away a little bit at automatic. And Raucus uses the drone. Not sure if he spotted out too much, but
he just found automatic in the corner. That's it.
Okay.
T1 now going to transition the rest of their forces over towards A side. There are 2 players still on site, but with spotting automatic outside middle, Corey does not feel comfortable rotating off back B just yet. So it's going to be just the 2 defenders here as we're going to see the attack come in.
huge recon dart, though, but a couple of huge kills coming out from Spider to open up this A site, and damage was traded back, but this Jet could still look for some more. Now the spike be planted. A 3v5 retake for FaZe. We bounce back to Corey, who just has a ghost in hand and not a whole lot to his name. Very close to the showstopper. Should he find a kill? The Spider gonna find a third. Baby Bay tries to get out of dodge with the dash. Spider gonna follow suit, knives in hand, and Zachary with the ghost is able to find one. So doing a bit of damage. The economy of one.
Right.
Now Corey just
looking
for exits on the way out.
And that's just a textbook default round, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those things where that's the type of style that T1 favors playing across the entire map pool. It's particularly effective on Haven because what it does is it denies information all across the map. They also were able to get the bonus of having control of Garage for quite some time. They put some good pressure on B, enough so to where no one really felt comfortable giving it away. And then that means they get a 5-on-2 on A site because they've created enough presence all across the map to not really allow FaZe a chance to know how they should be rotating. And on top of that, they put the bulk of their forces through long A. Everyone's focused on that. And so Spider can kind of just ninja his way up through sewers on top of the boxes and get a couple of clean entries off the distraction this team was causing over towards long side. So again, a textbook default round from T1 where they got all the map control they wanted, and they're able to play off of it. But now things get more difficult because Baby Bay is going to be on the operator, and they're up against full rifles. It's not a bonus round any longer. So now it's going to be a little bit tougher to get what they want. Yep, once again, that cage on the cross. Again, you're going to see that probably every single round from Curry to kick off the start of rounds. And of course, you'll probably also always see automatic smoking top C. Again, that's just kind of the bread and butter default of Haven.
I love that. Marv just keeps having the hardest time finding that cam. I think you heard him spraying earlier in the round. And Curry mixing it up. You said tossing the cage over. Typically, you see it as you're looking down into sewers. You toss that cam onto the left side. Well, this time, it's on the right. So just hanging out over there. Able to grab as much information as possible. As another garage push comes through. Corey's here to shut it down. A big one.
Gets him his
Spider.
Gets him his showstopper as well.
I was going to say, sad days. When you die to the spike, you don't get that ult pip. So he needed that kill to find the showstopper. And, I mean, we've seen it used in many different ways as automatic is finally
I feel like that's what's going to come down to. Like, I feel like with T1 playing this style, it's really going to come down to whether or not they're able to get opening picks at Garage or not. Or, once they commit to an A split, how they're able to handle Baby Base operator that's going to be playing A side quite a lot. And now, in a 4-on-5, they're going to try to commit to B.
Marv is here. Trying to enter. Fault line goes through. Beautiful fault line as Daze dances around the wall. Corey here to try and back up the team. And this arguably one of the harder sites to hit that showstopper. Quite a bit harder now as unfortunately he is 6 feet under. Rock is going to try and spray through the smoke. Has a couple of shock darts available. Nope, just the last, but a recon bolt coming up here momentarily. FaZe this time around, it's a 3v4, not a 3v5 on the retake. They're not really set up in the best way. As I say it, Baby Bay finds a kill and things get a whole lot more doable. Zachary picks it up as well. Raucus on the outside and Curry now from downtown needs to pull out the heroics for mid. And Baby Bay says, no way, Jose. Double digits for FaZe.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid round for T1, considering they were down 4-on-5 early. They had a great stun, a great clear in the B side. They got a plant. They were in a 3-on-3 post plant, so things were looking pretty good. They had players on and off site, so they weren't funneled one direction. So a lot of the boxes were ticked for them to be successful, but then Baby Bay just breaking it open with the operator. Just great fragging, great coordination from FaZe to move together and win all of their duels. They didn't lose a single member in that 3 versus 3, just able to take the angles and take back their space. And now it's up 10-6. They are going to hard reset T1's loss bonus. T1 can buy here, but if they lose this round, they are going to be in a really tough spot. FaZe are in so much control right now.
A lot of this coming off the back end of these knives. The Spider's able to grab the first. Nice little reset there. Looking for more Zachary. To try and stop some more of this mid controller, this garage control, and Spider opts to actually walk away.
Yeah, he's done his job, and the thing is, they have to account for the fact that he could still be there. So he's basically doing his job without actually having to be there, and he can also just kind of help coordinate over at middle or whatever Daze decides to snap on. And I mean, they need to win this round, bro, because if they don't, FaZe at 11, T1's economy is drained, and then they have to make some tough decisions on whether they want to force fire or not the rest of the game or play for overtime. So this is really tough on them. Drone's going to find out Baby Bay. He can no longer hold the forward angle at A side. He has to back up the site. So T1 taking even more map control now. Again, they get the luxury of messing around with FaZe because they have the 5-on-4 and they have time. They can kind of force FaZe to scramble. Then they can just kind of gather together once they make a decision where they want to go, and it's going to be at the back of C with the ult.
They hop right on through, and Noodle's slowly going to be bringing that spike up, maybe nearing that Rolling Thunder, so another ultimate to have to try and pick up this round. Once more, Spider still alive, still has the Bladestorm available. Still going to be a large name here. Now, on the inverse, Rolling Thunder available for Zachary, who might possibly see that as he blinds his teammate. That's an unfortunate spot to be for. A quick moment. Now here comes the Rolling Thunder as they try and jump away. Spider going to get tagged up. 2 stuck on the site from that, but in response, they send it right back, and they're starting to find more kills. FaZe down to their last 3. Rockets from downtown is able to pick up a shock dart kill, and unfortunately, no matter how these kills start to go, FaZe is running out of time. They have to get on this site and make a play. They have to look to try and find a defuse, but Spider is here. The bouncer at the door for only a moment longer. The kills start to follow, but it doesn't matter. The last one will go the way of Skadoodle. The spike will blow, and T1 stay alive for a moment longer.
Yeah, big victory, but unfortunately it was a costly one. They're going to have to rebuy several players here, so it's going to keep their money a little bit lower than they probably want to. Luckily for them, this is the round they should be able to catch back up, as FaZe can't afford much more than Sheriff, so this is a great chance for T1 to start closing the gap on the scoreboard. Really brilliant round for them just to get that opening pick, sit on it, force FaZe to second guess themselves and scramble, and then find that opening at C with the ult from Automatic at the back of the site. Great counter Rolling Thunder from Skadoodle to kind of limit the impact of Zachary, trying to put his through for the retake. And so solid round for T1 all the way around.
They just got to keep at it. We've seen what they've done, you know, staring at the face of adversity and needing to make adjustments on the fly.
Oh,
They've been able to do it before, and unfortunately, Marv gonna be on the the bad end of that trade.
I can't blame him. I mean, they don't have much to work with this round, trying to go for the aggressive mid push and trying to, do something crazy from behind. Not a bad option. Unfortunately for him, it just got caught.
And just trying to do whatever they can. Baby Bay is only 1 tip away from the knives, so maybe not this round, but possibly in the next couple of rounds or the next save round we see FaZe fall onto.
Right.
He could look to have a showcase round for himself.
Yeah, I think this round is pretty much a foregone conclusion for T1. They already have the opening pick. They're starting to really get a grasp of the A site. Drone's going to start clearing out all the close corners. They're able to come up long. It's looking pretty good.
T1, I mean, you have to give him props for just continuing to play their game, right? Not just knowing that there's classics and sheriffs around for FaZe. They're not just running into the site and doing whatever they want.
Yeah, good discipline. VALORANT, sure, from T1. FaZe, remaining 2 members, just playing outside A side, looking to see if they can get some exits, pick up some weapons, force some rebuying out of T1. Automatic, though, has a good angle with the Bulldog, so I'm not expecting him to falter. Indeed, he will be good for the first. Dinks the second. A little bit of a team stun, but it also stunned Rocket, so they're on equal footing in that regard. We'll get the frag nonetheless. And there you have it. T1 just 2 rounds away from tying this thing up. They've won the last 3 out of 4 rounds. Recovery has been solid, but now FaZe is back to being fully bought out. So definitely a chance to come right back at T1. Already 1 map to the good.
This would be
Right here.
kind of a feels bad man for FaZe. Should they let this map go because of the control that it felt like they had for the majority of it?
Always tough to read Haven, though. I mean, having a big attacking half is not too rare. So we are going to see T1 pick up the pace. They're coming in C hot and heavy. Smokes up on the back halls, and they have already laid claim to the site. Marv trying to ult in behind, but Curry was right there to stop that ult from being able to complete.
Raucus, I think, tagged 3 on the site, so 3 members not very healthy here for T1. That spike finally goes down, and I mean, it's a 5v5 retake, but surely T1 worse for wear here. as the stuns go through. Flashpoint gonna be queued up as well. Nice shock dart, just actually goes wide. So Spider still alive, playing default on this side as Baby Bay not too sure where to go. And Spider finds that kill completely dazed. 1-for-1 we will trade. And speaking of dazed, there he is on the kill feed now. Pick one up onto Corey, and the rest of the squad playing out towards long. This is a tough ask here.
Wow.
As I say it, FaZe just start to mow him down. They're low HP. It's up to Curry
my.
once more, but Zachary cuts him down, and FaZe back to the win column.
That is such a bold statement from FaZe. It is so difficult to stick a defuse when everyone is sitting back at long C. They can keep pinging the spike. They can spam through smokes. The spike's planted for them. It can be so tough. You just have to win your fights. And, well, FaZe won every single duel through this long C passageway to ensure that T1 could not stop the defuse. That was so big for them to win out those fights. Like I said, a bold statement from FaZe to let T1 know, hey, you might have a strong attack in half, but we're still here, and we're up.
Now, maybe that goes a little differently if Raucus didn't tag 3 people with the Hunter's Fury. That is incredibly impressive. Marv just keeps finding Curry trying to lurk here up towards A short.
Yeah, and they also have long C control as well. And so, yeah, B has been given up, but, I mean, at what cost? T1 are down a man, and FaZe have a lot of different ways they can retake back. The one thing going for them is that they do have the Hunter's Fury on today's, and now Spider is starting to disrupt things in the back. Hauls, and he is not done. That's another onto Corey. He is absolutely pummeling FaZe. Finally caught.
And Baby Bay actually finds him looking the wrong way. Really awkward positioning as Marv on the flank, but flanking the flanker was dazed. And this round was really upside down as far as positioning goes across the board. Now FaZe down to their last 2, and
They're going to chill.
Yeah, might be forced to just hang on to it. Baby Bay still has the operator, and
that round comes down to Spider. I mean, I can't tell you how many times a team will attack B and they get the spike down, but they're funneled. Like, they're having to play post-plant strictly from middle or strictly from the back of B site, and so they wind up just getting boxed in, which would have been even worse because Zachary, of course, has the Rolling Thunder, and then they would have been pummeled at that point. But luckily, Spider was able to be the one that could break through and capture even more space, and he took numbers down with them as well to really limit what type of retake phase you're going to be able to put together. And they always had the Hunter's Fury available on days as a checkmate play if they needed it, and they didn't even wind up having to use it. So now they have Rolling Thunder, they have Hunter's Fury still, they have Neural Theft, they have so many alts to really keep this comeback flowing, and they also have FaZe on a hard reset where they can't really put too much around that op and Phantom. So, I mean, T1 are in prime position to tie this thing up soon. It's going to take a big play from FaZe to hold them off.
I mean, it's back to the defaulted ways. Spider playing up towards mid, garage, trying to get some control there, and
Old Marv.
Oh, he gets spotted out. Really? Okay, is going to be taken down. I love that cat and mouse that we've had here towards A lobby.
Oh, Marv. He was definitely playing with fire over there. If he could have got away and took the tripwire down, that could have been actually pretty big. Would have meant that they could never feel comfortable that a flank wasn't coming that direction. Neural Theft will now come out as well to give a read on the rest of FaZe's positioning, give T1 their best option to choose a good route, a gap in the defense. So T1 are well on their way to winning this round at least, with the man advantage, all the alts, and intel.
And I wonder what that's starting to do, the confidence, if anything, of FaZe. Now that they're starting to lose some of these fights, or, you know, these awkward positions like Spider playing so far off B, able to find kills. The mind games back and forth as that flashpoint goes out towards Cubby. Automatic actually finds the kill after being flashed, and Spider almost picks it up onto Baby Bay, who's forced to dash away. FaZe down to their last 3. I believe, no, that was actually the rifle down. So it's just going to be the op in the hands of Baby Bay, who's getting so far away from the action just to try and save.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their economy is still in tatters, so saving that operator and anything else they can would be pretty big. Corey obviously is expendable with the Sheriff only, but he's going to be found out there by days, so
Revealing area.
other two will just get out of dodge. They should be able to full buy next round now. I think they have a couple of alts still available to them, so Problem is, you still have Rolling Thunder and 100 Sphere available for T1, so they are still in prime position to keep rolling out the rounds. You figure you got the Rolling Thunder for a side execute to get side control, and you have 100 Sphere in your back pocket to stop a defuse. So that combo should probably just get you one round by itself, as long as you don't completely fold prior to getting to use them.
Now here we go. Both teams double digits. FaZe
Right.
obviously still having that round lead. T1 sitting incredibly comfortably when it comes to economy. Pretty comfortable as far as alts go. I think if you had to have 3 alts, those are the 3 that you want. Sure, that neural theft is nice, but you can open up the site. You can let Spider continue to do Spider things. And then at the end of the day, you've got that space from Dazed or the post plant.
Right.
I guess from Skadoodle too, you can use that Rolling Thunder from off the site to try and stop a defuse. So
Yeah, there's
a lot of options.
Yeah, exactly. Options are open to them. Baby Babe trying to get aggressive here, but he's gotten darted, luckily able to at least dash away and kind of put a halt to any real damage being done. Denies his play, though, that's for sure. Now they know what the operator is as well. So they're going to kind of start doubling back over towards A side. They're also still keeping the threat of garage control alive. Good job by Marv to smoke out, though, and try to get some intel over towards A side, or at least deny some space. But he's going to have to back off of this soon because he has no support to kind of keep him there.
You think Marv is gonna back off? This is where he's
Well, that stun
he's made
allows him
this
to kind of
place his
stick around and
home.
re-smoke it. So, yeah,
True.
he'll keep denying the space for now. Killing a lot of
him
clock.
and him and Curry have had just such a nice little back and forth here
Sure.
when it comes to kills, utility being traded out. That Cam not gonna find too much just yet. 4 members though stacking up, make it 5 for T1 is.
He's got a good read,
Marv
too.
looks-
Look at the
30
rotation.
seconds left.
Like a great paranoia to keep stalling out T1 over and over again. And now this actually forces T1 to reconsider their options. They're going to route back through the middle of the B side, which is wide open for the taken, by the way. No one is here. Everyone kind of rotated off, thinking it might be an A attack. So they will get it, but a big pick from Raucus. Not going to find a second, but here comes the Rolling Thunder.
Running out of time.
Yep.
They have to get back on and find the plant. Baby Bay gonna find the kills. They're just gonna push right through and try and stop it. That's it right there. The spike goes down and FaZe, they clean him up, make it. Corey will clean him up and FaZe move to map point. And we were talking about the cat and mouse, but what a huge play from Marv. The amount of time and space he bought there.
Yeah, that was so big. Marv just layering the smokes and the paranoia perfectly to kill so much clock and force T1 to have to reroute late to B, and then a great Rolling Thunder comes in from Zachary. Corey pushes in with it, and he still has his ult going forward. Now, Daze also still has his Hunter's Fury, so it could still be useful, but they're running out of time. They need to win both these rounds just to force overtime, just for a chance at a third map. And again, Marv is just constantly being this nuisance at long.
A is not free as long as Marv is here, and he's even looking to push up further. This time, there's no trap wire. I think
No
it might have
cam
been
either.
the shock darts. No cam. Oh, they do spot him out, though, some way, somehow.
That's tough.
They spot the cape, and that's why superheroes don't wear capes. Now the A side opened up. Baby lockdown used in the form of a showstopper from Corey. Skadoodle was able to find another kill across the map. That is Skadoodle's, I believe, his second aftershock kill
Yeah.
in this game.
Automatic just got up C. They had no idea he made it that far. So he was able to get a free kill on the Baby Bay. He was just not expecting that. Now T1 have the 5-on-2. They are taking this round for sure. All FaZe can do is try to save these other 2 members, and they've just gotten reset again economically. So that's going to cause some real problems. Because obviously they're not able to reclaim that operator. Not even sure what they're going to have for next round, honestly. Nice one from T1. Oh, it came down to Ketchamar playing with fire at long A again.
Yeah.
This time getting caught.
And that's, I mean, something that you kind of look to do when you're playing against these aggressive teams, right? You want to try and somehow punish that aggression before letting it do too much. I mean, it wasn't aggression in the round previous. It was just Marv existing
Yeah.
over towards A lobby.
Yep.
But either way, you take out Marv and you see what happens. It opens up so much, not even on the A site, but across the map.
Yep. And still, FaZe able to get a really good buy here. No problems there. We'll be able to get the operator back on Baby Bay. No problem. That's what they want to do. Full rifles for everyone else as well. Yep, this is it. This is either for overtime or the, smallest margin possible of victory for FaZe to get to 2-0 in the series and move on throughout the upper bracket. Knock T1 down a peg against double elimination best of 3. So no one gets eliminated here, but obviously a much tougher road and a lot more pressure to take an L early in this upper bracket. And look at FaZe looking to get aggressive at middle this time, so a little bit of a change up.
Yeah, looking to take the fight right to him, not waiting back this time around, and it's not Marv who's doing it. It's somebody else. So they're probably expecting it again to come from A lobby. I don't know how much they're expecting not only it to come from mid, but for Baby Bay to be on a rifle rather than the operator. Corey spots out one.
I like that he got out of there. Gonna put the paint shells down as well to try to get some damage off. Chips away at Dazed a bit, but he's able to back off. Meanwhile, Marv's still holding aggressive at long A. And they still have this under window position here for Baby Bay. He's done a great job not to overextend, but just to anchor what could be a really strong position. The problem is he's kind of stranded. Doesn't really have a support system to get him out if he needs to escape. And that could be the one real foil in this plan for FaZe. It looks like it might not even really be tested. He might just be able to cut off a late push. It's going to be a long C focus here.
They're all stacking up here. T1 looking to hit this one quick. And like you said, Baby Bay doesn't get a whole lot, but Spider, on the other hand, will. There's no Curry actually found Baby Bay, and T1 are looking to take us into overtime. It's down to the last two. It's an operator in the hands of Zachary. And Marv trying to creep on up. One gonna get spotted out. Marv will find that kill. From the back of the site, it's all up to Marv here. 1v3. Not gonna find that kill. T1 pushes to overtime.
Yeah, really well done by T1. First of all, to sniff out Baby Bay and also just to have a nice explosive attack up C. They catch the player at double stack box thanks to the dash from Spider. And so T1 able to do just enough there on the late stretch of the second half to force an overtime, keeping the third map an option. We're into OT. Spider going for the glass cannon operator on the defense. Full rifles and armor for FaZe on the attack. And again, expect that up-tempo play to persist. It worked out pretty well for them on average and regulation. So I don't suspect they're going to change up their style a whole heck of a lot here. And let's see what happens. You got to win 2 in a row to win. 1-1 splits, keep the overtimes rolling.
That
What?
they do, and that is a great start by Baby Bay. The recon bolt for the info flashes out on top, and what was that? A flash and walk? Not really the flash and dash.
Yeah, big catch onto old Spider. Put a lot of weight on Day's shoulders here to play this A side. Is starting to get a bit of a transition through B site from a couple of players. Could be Skadoodle and company. Curry added, trying to shuffle over to help reinforce, but this obviously creates the gaps that FaZe can exploit. As they're going to try to pounce on B here now.
Made it work once on their attacking half, looking to do it again as Automatic tosses out the paranoia. Spike to go down, and Aftershock to try and push him away, but
look at this from Baby Bay.
too late, and this is huge. Curry sniffing it out, being a lurker himself. Doesn't peek all the way, though.
Oh, this is going to be tense, man.
This is about to be one heck of a round should Baby Bay not get caught out. Opening up the first. Now looking to do more. Creeps on through from A-Link. Able to find the first kill. The reload comes through, but Dazed is able to sit him down. Now, with 3 members remaining, they tap the spike, the spray through the smoke. Low HP onto Skadoodle. He will fall. It's all down to the last 2 as Marv goes through with the heroics. An Automatic looking to just stick it, but he's low on HP. FaZe will go up 1 round here in overtime as they look to close things out.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned that maybe Baby Bay was over something with that dash in, that he could have just sat back with man advantage and just kind of continue to be a thorn in their side. But
Yeah.
luckily the rest of the team was able to do just fine through middle, constantly putting pressure on the spike, not allowing a defuse, and they wound up with the round nonetheless. And that's all that matters in overtime, as they will now be up 13-12. They can hold out here on the defense. They will get the 2-0. They will deny the third map. T1 needs to get this to force another overtime. Transition back to the attack when they get fast at middle, and Baby Bay does it again. These quick opening picks have been devastating for T1 in overtime. They don't even really get a chance to play out their game plan. They're just getting crushed off the rip.
And Spider has been pivotal for this squad.
Absolutely.
So for him to be taken off the roster now, this is your winner's bracket life on the line here. FaZe are already up one map, and that hurts so much. Zachary finds another onto automatic. That smokes off the board. And there's not a whole lot now for T1 to get done. The aftershock gonna push Skadoodle away. Ult line queued up and tossed out into garage just to make sure. Curry's leg gets spotted, and I mean, it is all downhill from here.
Yeah, FaZe is doing a great job just asserting themselves early in these rounds, getting these picks, not being afraid to take duels, and just suffocating T1, who are down 2 players now. Days trying to get something going by getting some control of garage.
Good Baby Bay.
Corey catches him though, and I mean, this has got to be over. It's going to take a miracle for T1 now. FaZe playing this round so well.
30 seconds left.
And they have pressure everywhere. B, A, both sides of the flank. Sure, they're going to be able to walk onto this C site, but you cannot expect enough from Curry and Skadoodle to try and get this one done. They're running out of time, so they're going to have to get the plant down. Skadoodle is going to peek on through. He swings the angle. Baby Bay, who better? He kicks it off. He closes it out. He sends T1 down to the loser's bracket, and FaZe move forward.
Yeah, we talked about it before the series even started, how the styles would clash and how FaZe could be a tough head-to-head matchup for a team like T1. And we also talked about how while FaZe might be a little bit simplistic in their strategy, they're still effective because they have people who are fearless and they have fraggers who are consistent and can pop off and be people who can thrive in the chaos, and they can scrap their way just fine. And they did just that throughout this series, man. Again, you never can count FaZe out. Even with some of their shortcomings, they are still a very strong team in the region. They're still constantly in that top 10 argument. And they come up big here against T1. They will move on to the upper bracket. They're looking to play the winner of 100 Thieves and Energy, which is still going over on the main stream. Also, to give you another update, TSM did beat Gen G, so they will move on. They are going to be playing Luminosity, who, of course, we covered earlier today against Kuki Koalas, just to give you a little bit of an update on the bracket. So there you go.
Yep, updates across the board as we just saw FaZe and 2-0 Fashion take down T1, and they still have life on the line as we do. We've got some replays for you guys of that last map, which, if there's a way to go, I mean, overtime has to be it, right? You see T1 just fighting tooth and nail. It was just, this is a team where, kind of like what we said about the Kuki Koalas, where he said the individual heroics aren't going to be enough. This FaZe team, that's what sets them apart. It is those individual heroics from Baby Bay, from Marv, you know, finding those crucial kills throughout the entire matchup here on Haven.
It's like a live or die by the sword type of style that FaZe plays, right? With them being, you know, so in your face, with them willing to be just so aggressive and so frantic in how they like to attack. If they're feeling it, if their form's on point, they can be absolutely overwhelming to teams, especially teams who play a bit more passive and a bit more slower paced. If it doesn't work, then yeah, you kind of overextend, you dial the sword, you start losing fights, you don't have another page to turn to in the playbook, you might struggle to adjust, and you might be in for some trouble. That didn't happen here for FaZe. They were able to stay out swinging the whole series through. They got great performances out of all their key players, and they played, you know, a solid series. That's why they're going to be moving on to play, again, that winner of 100T and Energy, which is going on right now on the mainstream. 100T, map to the good. They won like a game in the double overtime or something like that to open the series, and now they're on to map 2. TSM gets a 2-0 over Gen G. LG, of course, we covered earlier, got the 2-0 over the Koalas. And so our upper bracket semifinals are starting to shape up, and some teams are starting to get down to their last lifeline here for stage 1 over on the other side of the bracket on the lower end, which we'll take a look at now. Cause we take it on Gen G, loser that eliminated. Then you have T1 looking to play the loser of 100T and Energy as another elimination match. So we're starting to get down to those key moments here for Challengers 3.
Yeah, key moments. And you talked about this lower bracket being those elimination matches, and we're actually going to get to see that first round on both streams today. Here on this one, we're going to have the Kuki Koalas taking on Gen G. Then after that 100 Thieves and NRG game plays out, you'll get to see that T1 versus the loser there, as it it starts to get scary because we're starting to get to those matches where teams get sent home, and it could easily be teams like T1. It could easily be teams like Gen G. And this is it. This is your last ditch effort as a whole, guys. And speaking of, this is it. Maybe this isn't it, but we do want to give another huge shout out over to our partners who are helping us power the Valorant Champions Tour in HyperX. And I mean, you guys already know what it is. You guys should all be HyperX decked out by now, but every day, billions of people, myself included, wake up, eat, and fire up a game as a part of their daily routine. I won a double overtime where I dropped a 30 bomb today. Console or PC, casual or pro, no matter your creed, color, or culture, we're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. Just already talked about some of his products that he's got. I also use one of these Mondo mouse pads from HyperX because, you know, you need to be able to move that arm around on the slower sensitivities.
Yes, sir.
Guys, please make sure you're checking out HyperX as a whole, as they are helping us power the VCT and they've been helping us bring all of the action that we've seen today. Now, speaking of the action that we've seen today, just unfortunately for you and I, that does things, not for the broadcast just yet. We are going to have Upmind. I always want to call him Updog and Silly just as a joke, but we have Upmind and Sully. We're going to be closing out the night, but before we toss it over to those guys, any closing remarks on the matchups?
Yeah, just obviously great Valorant all day long. Obviously, this section, me and Tanner are done for stage 1 in its entirety. So, you know, obviously, we'll just be sitting back now as fans, just like the rest of you watching the rest. Hope you folks enjoyed what me and Tanner were able to bring to the table over all these Challengers events. If you enjoyed it, please do give us a follow. I'm at FollowDust on Twitter. That's at Tanner_Metro for Tanner. And again, just make sure you're following up these Nerd Street Gamers channels because there's still a lot more Valorant action be going on here for stage 1 of the VCT. We still got a lot of Challengers 3 left to go over the course of the weekend. We still obviously have Masters 1 coming up in a very short amount of time. That's obviously going to be a banger. Got a lot of great teams involved. So again, definitely just want to stay followed up and keep supporting Nerd Street, keep supporting the VCT, keep supporting our partners like HyperX. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. That's my final thoughts. Tanner, take it away.
There it is. Yeah, Dust basically covered it all, guys. This is not it for the broadcast as a whole, just for Dust and I on this one. We are going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, Upmind and Sully are going to be bringing you that first of the elimination matchups between the Kooky Koalas and Gen G. Don't leave your seats.
Contrast stitching, curves that'll hug your body, adjustable arms, custom embroidery, memory foam pillows, changeable color inserts, lay flat recline, removable logos, soft durable material. Yeah. Like what you see, baby? Zip chair.
I feel like I need to defend my scene's honor here because this is just turning into a bit of a dog battle.
Like in groups always look.
I'm cutting you off here. I'm cutting you off. Cutting you off. He said G2's winning it. He said G2's winning it.
We need to wait till the next EU tournament, which could be in about 10 years now.
Take it with like a grain of salt.
No,
but
that's
that
no
being
fun.
said,
Take it super literally.
Spike defused.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice. And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless? On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.